Have you ever pressured someone to have an alcoholic drink, called them boring, assumed they're driving, on antibiotics, or even pregnant? I have. And I think most of us would be lying if we said we hadn't. Sober shaming is a term coined by Alcohol Change UK, and it's used to describe those who shame people when they choose not to drink. This got me thinking about the contradictions associated with society's attitude towards alcohol use in general. A highly addictive, glamorised and heavily promoted and very accessible substance. We shame people for not drinking, and we shame them for drinking too much. Allow me to repeat that. We shame them for not drinking, and we shame them for drinking too much. There is this unwritten rule within our society that you must drink to have fun. But when taken too far, people are scrutinised, shamed and vilified as being the dregs of society, despite probably being pressured to have their very first drink at 18, or toast a landmark event with an alcoholic beverage, or commemorate a loved one. Alcohol is ingrained into society. It's everywhere. Yet if you're addicted to it, then you're confronted with an awkward look, silence, or gossip. Society is literally forcing an addictive substance on people which causes physical dependence and potentially deadly withdrawal symptoms, and silencing them into shame and anonymity when they eventually get hooked on it. But I've been guilty of sober shaming, and I've been guilty of stigmatising somebody addicted to alcohol. But my sudden realisation of the dangers of that logic became apparent after losing my dad Steve to alcohol use disorder in 2017. My dad, who was welcomed to alcohol as a teenager, used it as a crutch to drown out his mental illnesses. He eventually became addicted to it, but was too ashamed to ask for help. So he chose to suffer silently instead. He was physically dependent on alcohol and needed it like we need water to survive. Yet the stigma made him feel weak and like a burden. When he needed help the most, he decided he would try and stop on his own. He told me that he didn't want to waste his doctor's time because he had self-inflicted his illness. But was it self-inflicted? Or was it years of subliminal marketing messages? Years of social pressure to drink to have fun? We can change this thought process. We can stop sober shaming. It's that simple. If someone tells you that they don't want to drink, don't force it on them. Respect their choice. You wouldn't tell a non-smoker to just have a cigarette so they can accompany you in the smoker's lounge. We can empower people to recovery by encouraging them to get support and by being compassionate and empathetic and kind. I'm going to leave you with a poem I wrote that lays out a timeline of society's attitude towards drinking. It's called Just Have a Drink. Just have a drink, they said. Don't be boring. Let your hair down. Are you pregnant? Are you on medication? Are you driving? Do you have a problem? Just have a drink, they said. Birthday, anniversary, wedding, funeral, christening, football match, long day at work, stressful times. Just have a drink, they said. Don't be a lightweight. Don't get too drunk. Don't make a fool out of yourself. Don't drink alone. Don't drink before 5 p.m. Don't depend on it. Don't get addicted to it. Moderate. Just have a drink, they said. You're an addict. You're a disgrace. You're doing it to yourself. You're self-inflicting it. It's weak. Just snap out of it. Just have a drink, they said. You need help. But don't talk about it. It's embarrassing. It's awkward. All you need to do is stop. Why the mood? Why the paranoia? I hate it when you're like this. Just have a drink, they said. Their memory's gone. They're hallucinating. They're in and out of consciousness. Skin is yellow. Hands are cold. They're not responding. Not long now. Their heart has stopped. It's because of the drink, they said.